Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Today we've been joined by Lord Nityananda. Manifesting himself here with us today.
Okay, so it's Canto 3, Chapter 21, Text 15, Conversation between Manu and Karma. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're in harmony.
First time for everything. But it's true, we were.
Text 15. Therefore, desiring to marry a girl of like disposition, who may prove to be a veritable cow of plenty in my married life, to satisfy my lustful desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything, for you are like a desire tree.
Oh, after so many thousand years of austerity, truth comes out, right?
Yeah. In spite of his condemning persons who approach the Lord for material advantages, which he did, didn't he? Karma Muni expressed his material inability and desire before the Lord by saying, although I know that nothing material should be asked from you, I nevertheless desire to marry a girl of like disposition. The phrase like disposition is very significant. Formerly, boys and girls of similar dispositions were married. The similar natures of the boy and girl were united in order to make them happy. Not more than 25 years ago, and perhaps it is still current, partners in India used to consult the horoscope of the boy and girl to see whether there would be factual union in their psychological conditions. These considerations are very important. Nowadays, marriage takes place without such consultation, and therefore soon after the marriage there is divorce and separation. Formerly, husband and wife used to live together peacefully throughout their whole lives, but nowadays it is a very difficult task.
Wow, Srila Prabhupada's hitting on some powerful points here, huh? You read the whole purport before commenting, or any thoughts so far?
Well, yeah. Yeah, boy and girl should be similar disposition. Means not like opposites attract or don't attract. Isn't it?
Well, I guess it's understanding disposition. Means
Nature.
they have, similar natures, similar inclinations towards the same things and
goals and principles.
But there has to be some difference, otherwise if there's too much alike, then that also doesn't work, you know? Like us, we're very different.
Right.
But we have similar dispositions. And then the process of well, Prabhupada says here, not more than 25 years ago. Now, of course, let's say this was the 70s when he wrote it, so in the 50s, that's what they would have been doing. And he says, nowadays marriages take place without such consultation. He'll probably say more later, how marriages take place nowadays.
Well, let's see what he says.
Okay. Kardama Muni wanted to have a wife of like disposition because a wife is necessary to assist in spiritual and material advancement. It is said that a wife yields the fulfillment of all desires in religion, economic development, and sense gratification. If one has a nice wife, he is to be considered a most fortunate man. In astrology, a man is considered fortunate who has great wealth, very good sons, or a very good wife. Of these three, one who has a very good wife is considered the most fortunate. That's good. Before marrying, one should select a wife of like disposition and not be enamored by so-called beauty or other attractive features for sense gratification, which is basically what most relationships are based on these days, isn't it? She looks hot, mate. She's hottie. She's good. She looks nice. Whatever. In the Bhagavatam 12th canto, it is said that in the Kali Yuga, marriage will be based on the consideration of, you guessed it, sex life. As soon as there is deficiency in sex life, the question of divorce, or as Prabhupada would say, divorce, will arise.
Kadwa Muni could have asked his benediction from Uma, for it is recommended in the scriptures that if anyone wants a good wife, he should worship Uma. But he preferred to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because it is recommended in the Bhagavatam that everyone, whether he is full of desires, has no desires, or desires liberation, should worship the Supreme Lord. Of these three classes of men, one tries to be happy by fulfillment of material desires, another wants to be happy by becoming one with the Supreme, and another, the perfect man, is a devotee. He does not want anything in return from the personality of Godhead. He only wants to render transcendental loving service. In any case, everyone should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for he will fulfill everyone's desire. The advantage of worshipping the Supreme Person is that even if one has desires for material enjoyment, if he worships Krishna, he will gradually become a pure devotee and have no more material hankering. So really, even if the point being that, whatever it is, the desires or needs or wants, just go to Krishna, because he is the ultimate wish-fulfilling gem. Everything goes through him anyway, and he's your well-wisher, and he's the absolute truth. And it's like, it's like going to the doctor, but he's like this supreme doctor, so he knows exactly how to deal with you. How to prescribe what he needs to prescribe and how much. Just like the doctor knows, I'll give him 25, tablets. No, this one needs 50, and this one needs this dosage. And we assume, some don't know because they're quack doctors, but most do know how to treat the patient without killing them. I think the same way, to be honest with you, whatever it is, material or spiritual, just go to Krishna, because he is the supreme doctor and he'll sort you out.
There you go. Perfect. Should we move on?
Yes.
Okay. Text 16. O my Lord, you are the master and leader of all living entities. Under your direction, all conditioned souls, as if bound by rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you, who are eternal time. In the Katha Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Lord is the leader of all living entities. He is their sustainer and the awarder of all their necessities and desires. No living entity is independent. All are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Vedic instruction is that one should enjoy life under the direction of the Supreme Leader, the personality of Godhead. Vedic literatures like Ishopanishad direct that since everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not encroach upon another's property, but one should enjoy one's individual allotment. The best program for every living entity is to take direction from the Supreme Lord and enjoy material or spiritual life. Interesting.
A question may be raised, since Kadma Muni was advanced in spiritual life, why then did he not ask the Lord for liberation? Why did he want to enjoy material life in spite of his personality?
Personally.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm not trying to make a dig at his personality. In spite of his personally seeing and experiencing the Supreme Lord. That's true, isn't it? The answer is that not everyone is competent to be liberated from material bondage. It is everyone's duty, therefore, to enjoy according to his present position, but under the direction of the Lord or the Vedas. The Vedas are considered to be the direct words of the Lord. The Lord gives us the opportunity to enjoy material life as we want, and at the same time he gives directions for the modes and processes of abiding by the Vedas, so that gradually one may be elevated to liberation from material bondage. The conditioned souls who have come to the material world to fulfill their desires to lord it over material nature are bound by the laws of nature. The best course is to abide by the Vedic rules that will help one to be gradually elevated to liberation. What it's saying is that he wasn't, it says he's not competent. The answer is that not everyone is competent to be liberated from material bondage. So even though he saw Krishna face to face, he still wasn't ready to focus just on Krishna. He wasn't fulfilled, which is also kind of contradictory in itself, isn't it?
In what way?
Well, if you get to the point where you receive personal darshan of the Lord, and then you're like, oh, that was very nice. I wish I had that man as my husband.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then we go and have like a little house with white picket fence and a little cat called Molly.
Okay.
Do you see?
I understand, yeah, and it makes good sense. Actually, it's something to be discussed and thought about. Because if someone gets the darshan of the Lord, then obviously they become purified. Now, the question is that I can think off the top of my head of 3 other persons that had the darshan of the Lord and still had to undergo quite serious stuff. First one was Prahlad Maharaj. Now, just because he saw the Lord in the form of Lord Nrsingadev, but still he had to go on to be the king of the Asuras, of all things. Then there was Dhruva Maharaj. Now he got darshan of the Lord, and still he had to go on to be the king of the
Pole star.
Well, I mean, he went on to inhabit the pole star, yeah, but even after the Lord appeared to him in the forest, he went back and he eventually became the actual king, the ruler of this world, after his father Uttanapad passed on. So that's 2. The third one is the third one.
Kunti?
No.
Andhas?
No. Anyway.
Narada Muni?
No, but I think you get the point. The third one was slightly different, and it was a good point. I'll remember in a minute. But the thing is that even after having the personal darshan of the Lord, you still have to get on with your activities in the material world, and according to one's nature.
Yeah.
So, in this situation, we can see that, okay, so the Lord, he's manifested before Kadma Muni. Oh, King Chitraketu, that was it. So King Chitraketu, the Lord appeared before him and told him that your son, is that your son was born before, and he was your enemy, and this is his way of getting back at you. So he had the personal darshan, but then he was flying on his Transcendental Palace airplane, and he saw Parvati sitting on Shiva's lap, and he laughed, and because of that, Parvati cursed him. So not only did he have to deal with stuff continued in life after he had darshan of the Lord, but then he had to go on and take birth as a demon and be killed by Indra. So we can't really know the will of the Lord, but there is the myth that's like what you said, that we think that once we get involved, or if we have darshan of the Lord, that everything after that's going to be melted away, and we're just... But that's impersonalism. That's the idea of merging into the Lord and escaping all of this.
Right.
But that's not the ultimate. It's not the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So are we at Kardama Muni addresses?
Yeah.
Kardama Muni addresses the Lord as Shuka.
Shukla.
Mine says Shuka.
Oh, mine's Shukla. See? S-U-K-L-A.
Yes. Well, let's see what's in the verse.
Shukla.
What's in the verse?
That's in the verse. No, it's not even in the verse.
Yes, Shukla.
Shukla.
Shuklani Mishaya. Shukla.
That means embodiment of religion.
Yeah, leader of religion. Kardama Muni addresses the Lord as Shukla, which means the leader of religion. One who is pious should follow the rules of religion, for such rules are prescribed by the Lord himself. No one can manufacture or concoct a religion. Religion refers to the injunctions of laws of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that religion means to surrender unto Him. Sarvdharma prityaja mamekam sharanam braja. Therefore, one should follow the Vedic regulations and surrender unto the Supreme Lord, because that is the ultimate goal of perfection in human life. One should give a life of piety following the. One should give a life of piety.
One should live a life.
Thank you. Perfect. One should live a life of piety, follow the religious rules and regulations, marry and live peacefully for elevation to the higher status of spiritual realization. So that last line I kept tripping on. I just want to read it one last time. So one should live a life of piety. It means be pious in your actions, give in charity, look after others, Follow the regulative principles, 4 regs, 16 rounds, and regulations. Marry and live peacefully for elevation to the higher status of spiritual realization. So there were 4 things, right? Interesting. Live a life of piety, follow religious principles and regulations, and marry and live peacefully. So we should be living peacefully.
Okay. On that note, we're going to end here and go peacefully into the abyss of married life. Okay.
Okay, this is getting good for all of you who are in the Grihastha Ashram married life. This section is very instructive and lots of good discussion. So keep tuning in.
Yeah, we might be back again.
Bhagavatam Bites ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.